Hey everyone, so this is just a brief video today to look at the new BlackBoard Collaborate Ultra. So you might be more familiar with the traditional BlackBoard Collaborate, which we've used in the module so far. So this is a new version and I haven't actually used it myself, but what I'm doing is doing a little bit of a tutorial today so that you know what to expect when we do actually come to use it within the module. And in my opinion, it's far better than the original. I found the original quite clunky, issues with delays between sort of the video and the audio and so on. And the fact that you had to download programs ahead of actually being able to join the session, that has all completely been removed now. So it's all in the cloud, it's all web-based, and all you need to do is follow the link that's provided to you from your tutor within course resources. Follow that link and actually put your name in and you're straight into the room. So let's have a go now and I can show you what you will see when you actually come to use BlackBoard Collaborate Ultra. So as I say, you'll receive a link. So I've got the link here, so let's just paste that link into our browser and let's see what comes up. So it takes a little bit of time. So you'll see this page here. And this is actually just an example, so this is a psychology team meeting example, but you will see here the name of the session that you're going to be joining. And all you need to do is type your name in to join the session. This has actually been set up that I'm actually a guest to attend. That is perhaps one way that you will be asked to put your details in, or actually it might even detect that you are a student enrolled on that particular module and actually just let you join without having to do this. But just to be aware, if you are a guest, you literally just type your name in. So if I click that, we can join the session and we should be straight in. Depending on internet speeds, it takes a little bit of time. So it's telling us we're joining. Okay, so here at the moment, as I say, it's just a test, so I'm the only person that's in the room at the moment, and it's telling me that. And it says, please wait while others join. But that's not an issue, but it's useful to see that you're in the right place, and actually you should then, if you do click on this link, you'll be able to see other students that are actually in the room. So first of all, what we have here is, it looks quite similar to Skype if you're familiar with Skype. So at the bottom of the page here, we have a microphone button and we have a video button. And then we have this little icon here to raise your hand. Like in the old one, you can actually click that to raise your hand on entry so that I know someone's join the room, but to be honest, you don't need to do that at all. It actually notifies me when you join the room or when you leave the room, and there's like a little text box that appears, so don't worry about raising your hand. Because I haven't actually used it before, I'm guessing that there's this button here with my settings. I can actually probably put in a photograph, so actually I need to fill in my profile, which I haven't done that. But if you want to do that as well, so that people can see a picture of you, then that might be something you want to do. So it's important to, if you do want to enable audio and video, to click these buttons. So it takes a little bit of time here. Okay, so our audio now is being picked up, and that means that everyone else in the room can hear your voice. Because we haven't tested it with many people, I tested it yesterday with one of the staff members at the uni, we didn't have any issues with feedback. We were maybe thinking, because I know I've experienced it a little bit with Skype, sometimes if you've got multiple people with their microphones turned on, there may be feedback, so that might be something that I'll ask you to do within the session. Actually, could you just turn off your microphone, and maybe when you want to make a comment, you just sort of turn it on when you need to, okay, so you don't have it turned on all of the time. But with video, you should be able to just have that on all the time if you want to. So obviously that's your choice to have your video or not. So here it's telling me that you're about to start video sharing, and it's picked up the fact that I've got my webcam set up. So let's share. What happens when you share the video is that you'll see a little mini screen down here in the bottom corner. Now yesterday when myself and someone else were using it, he actually appeared over here in the right corner. And I'm guessing, again, because I haven't used it with anyone, multiple people at the moment, but I'm guessing that you have sort of a number of mini video screens down the bottom here so that you can actually see who's involved in the session. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to show you for the purposes of this, just how to enter the room, how to log in, how to enable your audio and your video. There are other things that you can do in terms of down the side, there's some functions here, but I don't really think you need to worry about these. These are for me to actually record the session. There is a help box here, so should you need any help, it's actually quite useful. We had a look at it yesterday and it advises you on various different things, so you can use that. So we just close that session menu, and this is the other section that I wanted to show you. So what I did then was you're presented with this initially with this screen. I can't remember if you have to click this or not, if it comes up automatically. I think it's because perhaps there's no one in the room at the moment. But if I open this panel, this is one of the most useful features that I wanted to show you. So there's no one here at the moment, so I can't actually have a conversation with anyone, but you might want to just put a little comment in there. And this is very similar to the old one, where this is the chat function box, okay? Again, it looks very similar to sort of instant messaging services that you might have used in the past, or something like Skype. It's very intuitive, I must say. This BlackBoard Collaborate is very similar to sort of lots of other packages that you've probably used. So that is the little speech bubble icon there, and that is the chat box. And obviously, if there are other people in the room, in the call, you will see their comments there and you will see their names. And the useful thing for me is that I can have that open. This content here that's black at the moment is where I might choose to share some slides with you, or a web page, or any documents that we might be looking through. So that is where that will appear at the and I'll probably be able to show that in a second actually. But this is probably the one that you'll be most using most if you want to actually raise queries via the chat box. This is, if you click across to the next tab, this shows you who is in the room. And you can see that it's just myself here, and I'm actually the moderator, so I have the sort of permissions to, set up the room and invite people to the room and so on. I can't remember what you're called, but you probably won't be a moderator, you're maybe just a participant. And this is where I can actually change caption, okay, you can actually change some controls. Don't know what that is, so I won't mess around with that at the moment. And it's actually telling me about my network connection, which is useful to know. So it's saying my network connection is great. So perhaps if you don't have a great internet connection, you might get a little kind of grumbly face there or something like that. And it's also picking up, it's going black and white here, the microphone button is picking up when I am speaking. So that's useful for you to be able to know that, everyone else can hear you. And the next tab is where I'm able to share content. Again, as a student, we probably wouldn't be expecting you to share any content, so don't worry too much about this, but it allows me to share my whiteboard with you. So if I want to put anything in there, and I can text, or I can use the pencil, which is quite useful just to draw over a document, that kind of thing. And if you want to erase those, just clear that. And I've got a useful pointer, so I can actually point things out to you on the screen, so that's quite useful, is it, from a tutor's point of view. Now, I'm using a Mac today, and I'm actually using Safari as my browser, so it looks like I am able to share applications with you if I'm using Chrome or Firefox, which I'm not at the moment, but it might be something that I would make sure I use in the future if I wanted to do that. I can share my files with you, so that is a really useful function to have there. So I can share documents with you, like I say, and you'll be able to see them on the screen here. I'm not actually sure what these are, but if I wanted to, I guess if I set up a poll and you can maybe vote on something. And it looks like I can also set up breakout groups. So can put you guys into different groups and send you on your way to discuss a particular topic, come back. So again, I'm not going to go into that at the moment because I've not used that, but that looks like it could be a useful function in the future. So finally, we have the tab here, which is our settings. And here, a bit similar to Skype, we can, if we just pop off for a second, we can just pop in there that we've just gone out of the room for a second, we're away. And so if we do that, you're away. Others in the session will see that you've stepped away. We've muted your audio and video, they'll be re-enabled when you return. So that's useful. So say if something in the background just happens and you really just need to just quickly, you don't want to actually leave the room, but you just need to pop off for a second, just click that away function and it will actually mute your video and audio. And when you come back, you just click this button that says I'm back. And again, we've gone back to green and we're present and our audio and our video have come back. So actually when I did that, you perhaps weren't able to, I can't remember if you were able to hear what I was saying then. Okay, hopefully you were. This is also where you will come if you are having issues with your webcam or your microphone. So you can set that up in here. Use your phone for audio. I haven't tried that out, so you can always have a go if you want to do that. It allows you to toggle with your speaker volume and microphone volume, so we can see that actually it's 100% as default. If you find that that's too loud or so on, then you can fiddle around with that. So these are sort of useful notifications for myself when I'm actually delivering a session. So it gives me a notification who has joined or left one of the groups and sessions, and I actually think that that will show up on your screen as well, so you'll be able to see who's joined and who's left the session. There's probably a little bit of a ding sound as well, perhaps as an audio notification if someone posts a chat message. And again, that's useful for me if I'm in the middle of talking about something and then I hear that you've actually raised a question in the chat function, that will notify me there. And here we go. So this is just giving me an indication of what you guys can do as a participant. So actually you are able to share your audio, you'll share your video, you can post chat messages, and you can draw on the whiteboard and files. So actually that's really useful if I ask a question and you want to just point something out on the screen, you can use these buttons up here and you can highlight something on there and show all of the other participants in the room. And then we have report an issue, so the same kind of thing. If we find that someone's being abusive or something, using some swear words or whatever, we can report an issue there. And I guess it's reporting an issue as well for any technical issues, and it reports it back to Collaborate. So hopefully we won't need to use that. So that's really it in terms of BlackBoard Collaborate Ultra. I'm sure you'll agree it looks a lot better than the old one. It seems a lot more intuitive. So we will be using this in future now, rather than the one that you used before, the traditional BlackBoard Collaborate Ultra. And if you've got any questions or queries, then have a play yourself as well. You'll be able to find this through your Blackboard pages through course resources. So there'll be links on there like there was for the other one. And yeah, have a little play around with it. And same as before, the sessions will be recorded using this button here. And what happens in the case of a recording is really simple. It at the end of the session, it will provide the moderator, so the person like myself, the tutor, who has set up the room, with a link. And literally we can email you that link, or we can post that link onto an announcement, course resources, and all you do to access that recording is go on the link. So there's no downloading involved or anything. It's a lot simpler, and hopefully we'll deal with any sort of issues with any downloading and then compatibility issues with the software that you have running on your computer, for example. Okay, thanks a lot.